Hey everyone, my name is Lizzie, and today we'll be talking about fermentable versus non-fermentable sugars. So what is sugar? Sugar is a carbohydrate, and a carbohydrate gives energy, provides energy to the brain. And without going too deep into chemistry, a carb is made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And sugar is naturally found in fruits, milk, grains, vegetables, cheese, amongst other type of food. And it's added in ketchup, cake, cereal, juice. If you want to watch a video on the different sources of sugar, you can click here. So when we're talking about adding any type of sugar to make alcohol, we're talking about fermentable sugars, because non-fermentable sugar will not be eaten by the yeast to make alcohol. And it's just gonna make your wash sweeter without having more alcohol. So it'll basically be like drinking diabetes, and you don't want that. I know that some people who make alcohol can add different types of food with sugar into their wash, and that sometimes includes stuff like grains, rice, barley, corn. And I was wondering to myself, why is that not sweet if that's a source of sugar? So I did a little research, and basically those foods are complex molecules and they just don't activate your taste buds in the same way. That's all. But they do contain sugar, so it's possible to use them in making your alcohol. Now, when it comes to non-fermentable sugar, I was wondering, is this like, are we talking about Splenda with an aftertaste, or are we talking about an actual sugar substitute that has the same taste as real sugar? And non-fermentable sugars include xylitol, erythritol, erythritol. And those two are the ones with the least aftertaste. Those are the ones that are closest linked to the taste of sugar. There's no aftertaste from the research I've made. Then there are a couple of others, stevia and Splenda. So these two do have the aftertaste of, I would assume it tastes like Diet Coke. So if you like that, then you can always make your alcohol with that type of taste. And another non-fermentable sugar is lactose and maltodextrin. So I was wondering, for lactose, why are so many people lactose intolerant, but all the other sugars seem fine? Well, first let's describe what is lactose intolerance. So lactose intolerance is your body not being able to digest lactose. And based on my research, this is often hereditary. And the reason why people are lactose intolerant is because of a lack of lactase. So this is usually produced by the small intestine, and the small intestine stops producing lactase when there's an injury or a disease or an infection. And the solution to be more tolerant to lactose is to start introducing little by little fermented dairy products into your diet. So those are for those watching that are lactose intolerant. However, we do not have to worry, because in alcohol it's very rare to put dairy products. Let me know in the comments below if you've put any dairy products to make alcohol. I've personally never heard about this, but if you're one of those, I always like to know what different ingredients can be added into your wash. And now, for how much sugar should you add? The sugar, whether it's fermentable or non-fermentable, depends on your taste. So the more fermentable sugar you add, the stronger your alcohol will be until it reaches the maximum. So the maximum depends on the yeast that you use. And let's say you're using a yeast that can go up to 15%. So no matter how much more fermentable sugar you add, you cannot pass this 15%. It's the maximum that the yeast can produce. And everything that you add past that maximum capacity of the yeast will just add in sweetness. So it's possible to add fermentable sugar and make your alcohol sweet, but you'd have to add a lot and really overpower the yeast cells. And by doing this, there's a risk of stressing the yeast cells and giving off flavor. So you just want to make sure when you add sugar to your wash. I have one currently brewing, and I'm thinking of adding a little sugar during fermentation just to add a little bit more alcohol. And I'm gonna have to get some non-fermentable sugars in order to add sweetness, because if your alcohol is at a good level, you want to keep it at, let's say it's at 15, you want to keep your alcohol at 15%, and you just want to sweeten it, then you can add non-fermentable sugar. And this non-fermentable sugar, in terms of how much should you add, it's really depending on your taste. So how sweet do you like your alcohol? If you'd like to book a class on alcohol making from home, the link is in the description below. We do experiments, you can ask your questions, And it's a fun setting where everyone is welcome, and we guide you through the step-by-step process to create alcohol from scratch. The link is in the description below. You can check it out. And I'm just curious to know, drop a comment below and let me know, do you prefer dry alcohol or do you prefer sweet alcohol? I'm just trying to see what is preferred amongst the people out there. And if you found this video valuable, share it with a friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.